Hello, Sonia here. I'm going to do, so yesterday I did a sketchbook tour of this grey artesia one, which was quite varied in its subject matter. Today I wanted to show the second one I own, which is a floral, which I kept for floral sketches really in the main of it. It's also from around 2020, so completed at a similar time. I'll go through fairly fast. It's pretty similar in its theme. Here I've used Posca pens, which I had good fun looking at the graphic quality I could get with them. And I think I also do a bit of sticking in collaged bits of paper that I keep this, if I like aspects of a work, but not the rest of it, I often recycle it, but just keep these collage bits to stick into sketchbooks. Because I kind of use these sort of sketchbooks for fun, for play. They're kind of therapeutic, they're sort of repetitive mark making, but they're also good for when you want to make more detailed work or to influence final pieces for prints. I've actually found that some of the ways of working or things I've been experimenting with in a sketchbook, they then appear in more detailed finished pieces as well. That year I did a lot of like doodling and quite intricate mark making, because these pieces were also completed sometimes at the kitchen table when the kids were home learning and during the pandemic. So I could come back and forth to these pages, just add more marks. And I think it was just I just felt like I was creating something of my own at that time. It was just nice to see something grow, and it didn't need to be cleared up, or you didn't have to, it didn't feel like a chore. So yeah, a lot of doodling, painting over pages, which is something I do a lot if I don't like the drawing underneath. And then I played, I like this. This is like with, I think, acrylic wash, but I like the contrast. Just playing with colour as well, like putting colours against each other, not really thinking about it. This page definitely grew from, I guess, feeling kind of constrained and just letting myself experiment and letting it grow sort of organically, really. But it was fun to do. Whereas in contrast, this was a bit more thoughtful, and I was trying to be more delicate, and I wanted to end up with sort of those sort of pretty type of designs that you often see, like that sort of Cath Kidston or those old style floral drawings. Sort of a fun doodle page, just experimenting with simple flower shapes and then just making marks to add a little bit of detail on top. These were just fun to do. Again, quite highly, almost like folk pattern, sort of very detailed. With I think I had some jelly roll pens, so I was just really getting down into the details, which is again a little bit therapeutic. Maybe it's a bit, felt the need to be in control, felt the need to be a bit tight. Here, just playing with drawing with a brush, the flowers, and then I filled it in the background, but you've still left this white around it. I didn't want to go up too close. Highly detailed pen and ink, but with some colour. And then sometimes I put when I'm listening to what music I'm listening to, because I don't know I think it does sometimes influence art. This is one of my favourite spreads from this sketchbook. I really like, I've used I think acrylic wash, but I like the contrast of this sort of the flower with and then this is collage, so that's just a snippet of an old drawing, a figurative sort of drawing, but just kind of like how that's turned out. More sort of doodle work. I also drew from life, like if I had some flowers in a vase, or from plants, house plants. But because like often I didn't want to draw the same thing again and again, then I used the sketchbook to explore imaginary still lifes, like making things up. That was another aspect of drawing that I I sort of got into at that time, because I felt like, you know, we're all shut in, a bit limited in, as it were, in inspiration. So I kind of went inside sometimes. But these were actual real, I remember these were real flowers that I had. I love neon gouache. I think I might have got some, and I was experimenting on that side and then contrasting it with similar shapes, but just obviously not neon. This again is a spread that I like, because I think the colours, it was cheering, and just playing around with, this is gouache I think, or acrylic gouache. Made up arrangements, not totally in love, I've got to be honest, with this spread. More loose painting, drawing with a brush. I just played around a lot with just having fun and bright colours. I really felt the need, I think, for some cheering art and just something to kind of, sometimes to distract myself from just everyday life. I like this spread because it reminds me, and it might have been in the back of my head, I really like those old fabric journals from years ago where people used to stick samples of fabric down, and then so you'd get all the contrasting snippets. I kind of like, sometimes I like a little bit of clutter in a spread. I'm not always I'm not really a minimalist. Yep, so this is sort of more composed, like the similar theme and colours. That's a bit crazy. That was doodling. That was a collaged, again, a bit of paper that I kind of liked what I'd ended up in, but I didn't need the whole piece of paper. Normally I like to fill both sides of these sort of sketchbooks because I don't want to waste the paper really. That's my personal preference, but I've forgotten, I should mark that and go back to it really. Heavy doodles again. I think there was a lot of making just these repetitive marks. It's something satisfying about it at that time. Yeah, and it's just fun to watch your sketchbook grow, to have different pages to flick through. Blue flowers, I've tried to keep to a theme. Oh, this was with some ink, like just bottles of ink and painting with ink. Then using, these were those pencils which have different colours within one lead. And here I've obviously, which I think was a good move, just decided to keep it as a drawing really. More experimentation. I'll try to speed up a bit. Painting daffodils from life. Playing around with, these were like just some old marker pens, felt tips. I think these were like the kids' magic. You know those pens where you like get the clear nib and it changes colour? So those magic pens. Yeah, so sketchbooks, I believe, are like, for me, are for play and experimentation. But from them, I feel like elements of them will come into my work. Playing around with the kids' stamps. I had some stamps and then drawing. This was an actual houseplant. Actually, I managed to survive. It's not with me anymore, but it did. I remember it did survive quite well. And floral. Here I need to come back. I didn't like this spread, so I painted over it in gouache. Well, no, I mean in acrylic. But you can see some of the drawings come through. But that would be a fun page to paint over. And again, another page that I've started to draw over. This is a bit crazy. Drawing with a brush, like going straight into drawing. Ink pen here with watercolour on top. That was quite a fun technique that I liked at that time. Daffodils. What have we got here? Yeah, just some more bright colours, sort of playing with floral design. Right, and this is the last few pages, so yeah, another spread that I like. There's something about the contrast with this pink. These are, like peonies, and then this, like, I've collaged on this quick sketch of someone, but I don't know why. It just, for me, these sort of pages work. And then the last one. I hope that was helpful to maybe have a look through and giving you some inspiration. And yeah, and that's it. Thank you very much, and bye for now.